Thank you all for coming out. I'm honored to be here with Scott Walker, who has fought for school choice and school reform. It isn't the easiest thing in the world to take on really powerful entrenched interests. This guy did it, not just in education, but across the board, and continues to do it each and every day. I thought I would tell you 3 quick stories and then pass the baton off to your great governor. In 1998, I was a candidate for governor, and I decided I would do something different. Rather than tell people what I believed about education, I actually wanted to listen first. So I decided I was going to go visit 100 schools, and I liked it so much, I ended up going to 200 and then 260 schools in a 9-month period, not counting summer where schools are closed. So effectively, I was seeing 3 or 4 schools a day. And what I saw was great teachers, principal leaders in many places that were leading, but what it confirmed to me was that the system itself needed to change. I'll never forget going into a lab in the back part of a high school where back then Florida had an 8th grade level high school graduation requirement. Imagine that, Scott, 8th grade. And the kid that was taking the remedial test to prepare for the exit test, that young man, if he missed it, he wasn't going to graduate, could not answer the following question. A baseball game starts at 3, it ends at 4:30, how long is the game? If you think about that, and you think about the tragedy that is likely to unfold if people don't have higher expectations for every child, it broke my heart. And it should break everybody's heart that we have a system where we dumb down expectations to make the adults look better, but the children fail. We're not fooling anybody. If a child can't answer that question, how are they going to be able to go on to college? How are they going to be able to get a job where they can live a life of purpose and meaning? So it validated my belief that we need high expectations and intervene early so that no child in this great country of ours is stuck at that level. Here's my belief. My belief is that life is divinely inspired. It's a gift from God, that people are extraordinary, particularly young people. They're really bright. They start looking less bright when they start acting like the adults. If we believe that children can learn and have high, lofty expectations, they will exceed our expectations each and every day. Second story. This is a story of a young woman I met this last year who was in the education system in Florida. Her name is Denisha Merriweather. Denisha was held back in 3rd grade twice. She was angry. Can you imagine being held back twice? She just no one ever told her that she was capable of learning, I guess. And the net result was she was on a path to drop out of school at an early age. Her godmother found out about the Florida Corporate Tax Scholarship Program, the largest voucher program in the country. Now 80,000 students are going to private schools because I took on very powerful interest, just as Scott Walker has done, to expand the voucher program statewide in this state. Denisha, when she went to this Christian school under the Corporate Tax Scholarship Program, I could just imagine the first week in class. A teacher probably put her arm around her and said, "You're blessed. You're capable. You're smarter than what people have told you. You can learn. You can do it." And she overcame the hardship of being held back 2 years in a row and was the first in her family to graduate from college. And now she's getting a master's. Well, in Florida and Wisconsin, because we're opening up the systems for students to be able to rise up, thousands and thousands of kids will have a chance to get a job or go to college or to live a life of purpose and meaning. In Wisconsin, kids aren't being told they're not capable of learning. And I believe that is the best path for the entire country. Final story. I have a heart for people that are struggling with disabilities. Because if you believe that life is a gift from God, everybody has a chance to make a contribution. And in Florida, thanks to the work of the president of the Florida Senate, we worked together and we created the first voucher program for the learning disabled. And the story isn't one of that much of a fight. It was a fight. There's challenges all the time. The union didn't like it to begin with. The simple fact was that we now have 30,000 kids going to private schools with public money with children with learning disabilities. But here's the story that I'm most proud of. That is fantastic for those 30,000 kids. They're told also that they're special and unique, and that the school their parents want to go to is the one that's right for them. But here's the end of the story. Guess what state leads the nation in learning gains for kids with disabilities? Florida. Why would that be? Quite simply, when you empower parents, giving them the power to choose, everybody gets better, because they're now having to compete for your dollars. Parent power is what this should be about. We should respect and trust parents that they love their children with their heart and soul, and that they make the right decisions for their families. All schools get better when you empower parents to make choices. I'm honored to be here amongst parents that are fighting for the cause to make sure that more and more students here in Wisconsin have the choice that their parents want. I admire you. Just as much as I admire Scott Walker, I admire the fact that parents are on the front line of this fight. I hope you'll stay the course. I hope you'll continue to fight hard. This is not about the economic interests of the adults. This is about making sure that children have the capability to reach their God-given abilities, and you should be proud of your efforts.